Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I am Meg, and today I am participating in the Cozy Winter Challenge. I know it's not my normal day to post, but this was the day for the challenge, and I absolutely love the piece that I did for it. I cannot wait for you to see the reveal and to see everybody else who participated in this challenge. Can't wait to see all their pieces as well. So the host for this challenge is Flipping Drawers. Check out his channel. He has beautiful work and awesome videos. I will put his link in my description so you can go check that out, and also the playlist for all the videos that are involved. I will also put that in my description, and you can enjoy and watch all of them all at once. So also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. So let's get started and enjoy. Here is this piece that I was given with a set of side tables, and I started on this piece, knew exactly what I wanted to do as soon as I saw it. So I started to take off the hardware, and I knew I wasn't going to keep the hardware. I also think there was one that was broken or missing on this dresser, but I didn't want the hardware that was on there. I did keep them and put them aside. So I cleaned the entire piece with Crud Cutter, and this piece needed a really good clean, so I used a lint-free cloth, and I let the Crud Cutter soak in just a little bit to settle on the surface, just to get all that grease, grime, and anything else that was on there that needed to be removed. Now this piece had some flower or some sort of like plant design on the dresser, and I didn't want that. It also had two appliques, so these are two wood panels that are on the top drawer, and I knew that I could remove them. So I got my hammer and my putty knife and started to remove it, and that is what it looks like. So it did have nails on it, and so I hammered those in. And as you can see on this side, they were poking out and definitely had to remove those. So I started removing them on both sides because I had also taken off the other panel that was on the other side of the drawer. These can be quite simple to remove. I have removed so many appliques that do not need to be on the piece, and I wanted it to look a bit more modern. So I also did not want the designs on here because it's not the look that I was going for, and it's very easy to cover up if you have something like this on your piece of furniture that you don't want there anymore. I used damp wood filler to fill in all of the dents. And it did need a couple of coats, and I will show that later on. But for now, I used the first coat of wood filler and really filled it in. I love this wood filler because it mimics wood, but it's like a paste, and so it's really easy to work with. I used a putty knife and just scraped it on, as you can see. While that was drying, I then sanded the top to raw wood. This was the vision I was going for. I wanted it to be a darker stain on top, and I knew that this piece was solid wood from top to bottom. So here's a close-up. Make sure that when you're sanding with the orbital sander that you're going slow and light pressure. I don't have a detail sander where it's a sponge on the base of the sander to go around edges like this, but I've always used my orbital sander, and I find that it works really well. As you can see there, I also filled in all of the details that were on this piece, and they took a while to dry, so I left them overnight while I scuff sanded the entire piece on the sides and the drawers. I placed some green tape around the drawer edges so that I wouldn't get any paint on them. Once the wood filler was dry, I used my orbital sander to sand off all of the excess and lumpy wood filler, so that I had a really nice smooth finish on that top drawer. I have it hooked up to my Shopvac, which I always have hooked up to just to suck up all of that dust. Now here I had put on a second coat. I really did not want that design showing, and so I did a second coat and let that dry. I also took off, which I forgot to record, there is a bumpy trim that's at the top. It's like a brick design. I had that on the middle here in between the top drawer and the second drawer, and I took it off because I just didn't want it there. And I couldn't remove the top one, but I did remove that middle one, and I took it off just like I do any applique, and it had a staple in it, but my husband removed it, and then I filled all of these marks and holes up with wood filler. Again, I used the DAP wood filler and let that dry, and then sanded it smooth. I then went over the entire piece again with Crud Cutter because it got quite dusty from all the wood filler and inside behind the drawers. I then started to spray the entire piece with gray primer. Now, I love my Kiehl's primer, but I haven't had the opportunity or time to go and have it tinted to gray because I still have bin 123 gray primer and I wanted to use it up. So I primed the entire piece with the gray primer, but I could still see those designs. So again, I went over the gray primer with the wood filler and completely covered those patterns with wood filler. Now this time I didn't sand it with my orbital sander, I hand sanded with a disc. And it came out really nice and smooth. So this is the color that I'm using for my challenge piece, and it is called Poppy by Country Chic Paint. It is a gorgeous red. I just absolutely love it, and I don't use red very often. But this was the perfect time and piece to use it. So I used my sprayer, my Wagner Flexio 5000 sprayer. I'll put the link above so that you can check out how to use the sprayer. And I slowly and evenly sprayed the color onto the drawers. Now, having the gray primer really helps when you're using blue or reds because it provides really good coverage for when you put that red or blue on. I also wrapped up all the drawers, as you can see there, so that I didn't get the sides or the back and front. I then, while that was drying, I then sprayed the handles. I had some cup pulls and also some extra drawer knobs there, and I sprayed them in, I think this is bronze, dark bronze, and it's a beautiful dark brown, almost black. And this is the Rustoleum paint and primer spray. I find it very, very durable. But you do have to leave it to dry overnight so that it's not tacky. Okay, so here is the piece so far. I absolutely love where it's going and how it's looking so far. Now, like I said before, I wanted the top to be a dark stain, so I used my Country Chic Paint glaze in graphite and mixed a little bit of black paint with it so that it looks like an ebony stain. But I like the glaze because then I don't have to wait 72 hours to top coat or let it dry. It dries super fast, just like paint. Beautiful coverage, and you can still see the wood grain through it. Here I used a Country Chic Paint sponge to apply it, which is so easy to use. And this is what it looks like as it's drying. Then it was time to put the hardware on. Now, I must have forgotten here, but I did spray the entire piece with top coat, and I used Country Chic Paint Clear Coat. Some of the handles needed a few washers, which are always handy to have in case a screw does not fit. So, I also had a vision. And you know me, if you've seen my videos before, I love decoupage tissue paper. So I am brushing on Country Chic Paint Clear Coat, which I find a really durable top coat to use for decoupage, and placed this barn design of tissue paper onto the sides. Look how perfect this matches the dresser. I just love it. So place the tissue paper onto the clear coat, and then I used my X-Acto knife to cut the paper. And then I brushed Country Chic Paint Clear Coat on the top to seal it. You do need a little bit more on your brush to seal the top so that it hardens and becomes very durable. I will put the link for Redesign with Prima tissue paper in my description. So I had an idea, and I also had this other tissue paper design where I wanted to alternate the designs. So I did the barn design on the top drawers and then alternated it with another design that I have that I'll show you in a minute. So again, you brush your clear coat onto the drawer and then place the tissue paper on top of that. So this is the design, which has a little bit of the design in the barn paper, and it just matched so perfectly. It's really starting to come together. Then I brushed Country Chic Paint Clear Coat again on top of the paper, just so that the paper would stick a little bit better, and then that way I could cut the paper to size. Instead of a knife, if you don't have one, you can also use sandpaper, or a sanding block, which would be better actually, to just sand off the edges. Then again, I brushed the Country Chic Paint Clear Coat onto the top, making sure that the bubbles were gone. The brush that I'm using to apply the clear coat is also Country Chic Paint's angle brushes. I really love these brushes, especially for applying the clear coat and also applying paint to drawer trims. So as you can see here, I'm using the Country Chic Paint sponge again. This sponge is so great for just absolutely everything and streak free. So I'm applying the top coat, which is the clear coat. It's my favorite top coat to use, as you must know by now. And I am applying that to the top. I'll probably do about 2 to 3 coats of the top coat, sanding in between coats with 1500 grit sanding block. And it doesn't take long to dry either, and you can top coat quite soon after for your second coat after it's dried. So here is what it looks like. I think it just looks absolutely beautiful. I think it looks cozy, and I have to say that it did sell right away, which I am so happy about. I'm glad that it's gone to a home where they will absolutely love it as much as I do. Thank you again for watching my video, and thank you so much for all of your support. If you'd like to support my channel in other ways, please visit my description where you can find Buy Me a Coffee link and also my Amazon wish list. I really appreciate it, and thanks again. I hope that you enjoyed that video, and go check out all of the other videos that are in my playlist on my description, and also flipping drawers. Thank you so much for hosting this challenge. I had so much fun, and this piece actually sold right away. I am so happy about that, and I just love it. It's so cool. It's so awesome. And thanks again for watching, and take care. And I will see you all next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care.